Business Focus, brought to you by KCB. KCB, making the difference. There has been tremendous progress in the use of technology over the past 2 decades, and as a fact, it has changed the way we do business, adding efficiency and making the world a much smaller place. Now, this week we put our focus on how entrepreneurs are using tech to create business. Welcome to this week's episode of Business Focus. We're glad you could join us. My name is Boni Tunya. We have a lot in store for you, but as first, let's take a look at the highlights. We highlight the contribution of the iHub Center to the development of techpreneurs. We tell you how a young entrepreneur is using mobile technology to provide solutions. And in the regional markets, we review a company that delivers web solutions to investment groups countrywide. We do welcome your feedback on the program through our Facebook page and Twitter handles displayed on your screen right now. Or better yet, you can write us an email at bf@standardmedia.co.ke. That's bf@standardmedia.co.ke. Business Beyond Limits tonight takes a focus on the iHub Center in Nairobi. Now we take a look at how this center is helping contribute to the development of techpreneurs who will develop and drive the business agenda in this sector. Over the past decade, Kenya has seen the emergence of an increased number of techpreneurs, most of them developing unique ideas in this sector formerly viewed as a preserve of the Western world. Sadly, some brilliant ideas have not been accorded necessary support to enable them develop into viable solutions. Nonetheless, the emergence of IT hubs in Kenya have reversed the situation, giving techpreneurs a unique opportunity to develop their innovative ideas. The iHub Center is located here in Nairobi.
After the post-election violence, we had Kenyan developers come up with a platform called the Ushahidi platform, which then of course has become world famous. And when the people who thought that Ushahidi should become an open source, freely accessible platform funded the Ushahidi platform, they asked whether Ushahidi wanted to have an office in Kenya. So one of the members of Ushahidi, Eric Hasman, then thought, yes, we should have an office. And while nobody knew what that office should look like, they came and opened the iHub. The plan was simply, just as they had come up in a matter of about 4 days, with the Ushahidi platform to track the crisis that was happening during the post-election violence. They thought if 3 of us, 4 of us could do it, then maybe there are other people seated in their bedrooms or in cyber cafes or anywhere else who would be able to deliver the same kind of solution that would change the world.
The iHub provides an open innovation place where different people with interest in technology meet. The center brings together developers in information and technology, students and people with great ideas. Those seeking admission register online to become members, and they immediately start enjoying certain benefits including free information newsletters. Those with ideas have a potential of solving problems and are likely to scale up or have a social impact, get an opportunity to sit at the iHub.
If you have this great idea that you've claimed and it's very good, then there are 2 conditions that you need to meet to sit at the iHub to become the next level, which is called the green member. That idea has to be solving a particular problem, okay? And it needs collaboration. You've probably developed it on your laptop at a cyber somewhere or in school, and you've reached the end of what you can do for it, and now you need other people. You need business development people, project manager, for example, to even manage your project. You need probably sales, and you probably need an investor. But you're not going to meet those ones anywhere else. So a space like this allows those different kind of people to come and meet you.
At the center, techpreneurs are accorded all the necessary support to develop their ideas. This support includes linkages with relevant people, both in technology and business, as well as potential investors.
To become a red member, which basically is about 10 people for every 6 months, you need to reach a point where you can show that your idea is viable, and you can pay a little bit of money for a desk at the iHub. But the reason why you want to sit in here is because you have access to developers, designers, our corporate partners, every time they have events, you want to catch up with that.
Since it was established 3 years ago, iHub has helped incubate thousands of ideas. During our first visit, we met a techpreneur who is working on a web application targeting the medics. The application will basically enable practitioners in the medical sector manage their data.
We're looking at being able to provide surgeons, midwives, clinical officers, health officers, an application that they can run on their phones, they can run on their desktops, they can run on smart devices, and be able to keep track of whether it's financials, medical records, the whole sets of data that they need to be able to use to run their practices or run their professions on a day-to-day basis.
The iHub is in the process of establishing a center for the development of hardware to supplement the software development. Juliet is the lead instigator of the Gearbox.
Gearbox is a makerspace community that we're looking to set up within the iHub, and the reason for this is that we've seen a growing interest in hardware, and there really isn't the kind of facilities in Kenya that help you build prototypes and iterate on them to finally develop our hardware product.
The Gearbox Makerspace has already completed the development of a hardware prototype called the BRCK. Now, this hardware acts as a backup generator for internet.
The brick is a rugged connectivity device. The problem that we have, even here at the iHub, is that we don't always have reliable power and internet connectivity. And the problem in a software environment when you're doing development is if the power goes out or the internet goes out, you stop being productive. And so we started to ask ourselves the question, what can we do to ensure that we always have productivity even when the power goes out or even when the internet goes out? And that was really the original idea for the brick, is let's build a backup generator for the internet.
This hardware device has many capabilities and can be integrated with other devices to perform particular tasks.
What we see is this opportunity for a new segment of technology to evolve in Nairobi, where we're not just focused on software, but we start to get focused on hardware and the physical world. So as an example, there are some NGOs that do boreholes, and they deploy them in remote villages, and they don't monitor them. They don't know if the pump is still working, they don't know if the water is still clean. And so being able to use a brick, we can attach sensors that the brick can then read that data and then communicate it back to the cloud so that we can have real-time monitoring of the health of those wells. And that's just one particular example where we can use a brick as a tool for interfacing with the physical world to solve problems that today we can't solve.
It is clear that Kenya has a great potential in information technology, and it is up to techpreneurs to develop ideas and follow the right channels to propel these ideas into economic ventures.
Currently, if you're going to be a proper, and when we say proper is you meet global standards, user interface design and experience. These are guys who basically, you'd call yourself a website designer, but nowadays it's not just a website because it has to be seen on a mobile, it has to be seen on a desktop. So it's not just a website. But if you're able to develop this properly, you'll be able to make $2,500 a month.
Now, in the Emerging Enterprises, we put a spotlight on an entrepreneur who's running an IT company that is delivering unique solutions, leveraging on the new technology of mobile banking and mobile money. He's incorporating both finance and the banking sector. All that coming up after this break.
The KCB Group has introduced to the market a new account opening product called M-Benki. M-Benki, to be accessed through the mobile phone, allows customers to easily open an account through the KCB mobile bank platform. This is a paperless banking system that is easy, quick, and gives instant KCB Mobi access. The country has 29.8 million mobile users, majority of whom have subscribed to mobile money transfer services. This mobile banking platform will accelerate the reach to the unbanked in the country in convenient, easy, and fast steps without the physical presence of a customer at a KCB branch to open a bank account.
M-Banky is about you taking control. Open your account yourself without paperwork, without going into branches, and then transact thereafter in a way that suits you or in a way that defines you.
KCB Group's Mbenki will open avenues to further the growth of agency banking as well as increase the use of mobile banking. This will in turn increase the entrepreneurial spirit, especially at the county level.
We are actually targeting to reach every unbanked Kenyan. Reason is, if you have a cell phone, you can actually have an account number. So our target is from all the way from Lamu to Mbita. We want to bank all Kenyans.
KCB is the largest bank in the region in terms of asset base and branch network and has a presence in 6 countries, namely Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan.
The emergence of mobile technology in Kenya has revolutionized our lives in many ways. Over the last decade, Kenya has placed itself in the world map as one of the most innovative nations in mobile technology. The introduction of M-Pesa and the subsequent mobile technologies has transformed the way money is handled, with up to 70% of Kenyans transferring and receiving money through their mobile devices. These innovations have proved how Kenya is endowed with immense creative talent in information technology and how economically potential the sector is. Meet Kariuki Gavitu, a young entrepreneur in the wider information and communication sector, a man whose passion and prowess in information technology drove him to establish a solution-based business to fill the arising gaps in mobile and finance sectors.
I worked for one of the largest banks, the largest bank in customer base in Kenya. And at the point it was 2010, and they had a problem with connecting mobile payments with the bank. Nobody had done it, and people wanted to be able to move money from one of these financial institutions to the other. And so after a long period, we were able to crack it, and that began my journey towards financial inclusion and being a financial service provider. Because of this, basically, we were able to connect mobile payments from M-Pesa to Equity Bank, which was known as M-Kesho. And that really opened up the door for me to venture into the industry of financial inclusion and integrations and become excellent in that.
Operating under the motto Innovative for Life, Zege Technologies aims to bring practical solutions to Africa through innovations that affect our daily living as well as our businesses. Karaoke's participation in developing a mobile management system for use by banks and other organizations marked a turning point for him. But how did the market respond?
It was quite an interesting journey, trying to sell, push the solution out there to people. Seriously, we had the best technology in the market, and we probably still have a cutting edge of the rest of our competitors. At that point, we were the only people actually trying to do this and who had already done it successfully for a large organization.
Trust was one of the major issues the company had to deal with during its initial stages. Potential clients found it hard to embrace new technologies due to uncertainties.
Most of the companies, you can find that it's only in the last year and a half that they actually have this technology of people sending money to their bank accounts. It's not because it wasn't there before or they had no access. It's just that they had to wait for the right time to come and for them to feel at ease.
Zege Technologies has grown to be a respected company and has played a big role in developing solutions to problems that are pertinent to small and medium enterprises.
Zege Technologies is about solving key issues in the market. We are excellent at building applications that actually address this and are of a financial nature because we have put a lot of emphasis on building a secure platform. We know lots about security in terms of whether it's banking, whether it's general business, security of information, customer data, all those things have gone into the platforms that we've built.
In its continued quest to provide solutions to SMEs, more recently, Zege Technologies has been building a mobile application that is set to help entrepreneurs run their businesses more efficiently.
Every business has a system. It's either paper-based or it's in your mind. You remember who owes you, or it's on a book, or you write receipts. But if you want to grow big, you need a scalable system. Okay, paper is not scalable. So we have looked at what makes Uchumi Uchumi, what makes Equity Bank Equity Bank, what makes Walmart Walmart. And really, it is systems, such that they're able to copy and paste a branch and it works seamlessly. They have a point of sale, they have a CRM, they have an ERP. And what we've done is we've taken these functionalities and compacted it in a mobile application that is accessible and affordable and works for the SME.
This mobile application enables business owners to run their business with the ability to sell, monitor the business trends, and most of all, track the business growth, all this from their comfort zones. By anyone's measure, you would gauge Karaoke's story as a huge success, but to him, he is still too far from being satisfied.
For me, I want to be able to create impact. My measure of success is when your business is successful, or the businesses that you're serving is successful because of our product, And we're already seeing some response and success stories around how an agrovet has been using our system and it's actually making it easier. A franchise has been using our system and it's making it easier for them to get real-time data. So that is my measure of success, when somebody comes and says, your system is really, really helping me to grow.
And in the regional markets this week, we take a look at a Kenyan IT company that has developed a web application that will enable investment groups to automate their financial systems, thus improving efficiency and saving on time. Record keeping for big and small companies has for a long time presented a challenge to business owners. The use of paper to keep records contributes to cases of fraud and in general makes operations cumbersome. Here in Nairobi, we meet an entrepreneur who is seeking to address this challenge through technology. Martin Juguna is the founder of Digital Vision East Africa, a company built out of an idea he conceived while in university.
I was a chairman of a club which was called Students in Free Enterprise, and I learned a lot through that group because we were being taught and we were also teaching other people about the tenets of entrepreneurship. So I saw the potential of business, and at the same time at the university I had a small business of my own where I used to sell airtime. I was a distributor of airtime across the many hostels at the UON, and it taught me a lot about business, that you can start something small which can really grow to something very big.
Soon after graduating from campus, Martin focused his attention to developing his company, and though it was not easy at the beginning, the company has made a huge progress.
We've been designing and developing websites, web applications, and mobile applications. And initially when I started the company, I wanted to start doing just applications, but I discovered that I needed capital to do that. And what I did is basically bootstrap the company to where it is now. And we've been developing a number of sites. We've developed a number of intranets for organizations in Kenya and outside Kenya.
Digital Vision East Africa has a workforce of 11 able staff and has been involved in activities aimed at solving the problems faced by investment groups, therefore helping to fast-track their development. Currently, the company is working on a web application dubbed ChamaSoft that is set to enable investment groups, mainly referred to in the Swahili name as chamas, to automate their financial records and systems. Edwin Joroge is the product manager of ChamaSoft.
ChamaSoft is a very simple to use web application for Chama members and all Chamas in terms of managing their financials, their events, their files, and their penalties, and most of the Chama operations that you see. chamas need. Let's say, for example, they need somebody to manage their contributions, manage their payments, manage their invoices, manage penalties just in case I came late. Then you'll see Chamasoft does that all for you. It automates that process so that you don't have to bother yourself as a Chama member to assign a member to be doing financials, penalties, and all of that operational costs. Then the Chama members can concentrate on what they came to do, that is invest in the Chama.
Chamasoft is our first application and we are very proud of that. And right now we are actually doing real testing with users before the official launch at Demo Africa on the 25th of October this month.
This web application has a number of features that cater for bookkeeping, calendars, as well as photo gallery.
Chamas depend on contributions for them to thrive. So we've created a module whereby all the actions of contributions are captured within the system, whereby members can contribute, can capture what they contribute in terms of, let's say for example, my Chama does their contributions every 7th of the month. So what Chamasoft does for me is, when I set it up, I come here, set up the scheme, and on the 7th of each month, I'll be receiving an invoice on what I should pay for that month. Then the system will be reminding me to pay this, because sometimes people forget, you're a busy guy and you need to do some other things, and Chamasoft is there to remind you and help you at least make an early payment. And if a member doesn't make an early payment, then Chamasoft can penalize that member according to the Chama's constitution.
The system is designed to protect users' credentials and has been secured according to the global security standards. Digital Vision East Africa is on a growth curve and thus a manifestation of how creative minds can utilize their rising opportunities to business ideas.
I started off without any business training, and I want to tell even the viewers who are watching that you don't have to fear starting a business. It's actually very fulfilling if you're going to be a person who can embrace challenges and actually somebody who is willing to learn from their mistakes. It's always good to start small, don't focus on capital. I never had money when I was starting off. I actually started by job after job. I never even had an office, and that is a testament to the fact that you can actually start a business and grow it. In technical terms, you can call that bootstrapping. And I've actually grown the company by plowing back what I've been getting. And at the same time, you get a lot of experience from real customers. And you will always get feedback as an entrepreneur from your environment, from your customers. And that way you are only able to improve.
Well, that's all the time we had for you on tonight's episode of Business Focus. Remember, if you wish to have your story featured on this particular show, you can write to us. That is bf@standardmedia.co.ke. We also welcome your correspondence on questions, comments, and suggestions on the same email address. And while this show might end, the conversation goes on online. That is on our Facebook page and Twitter handles. Now, from the team that makes this possible, my name is Boni Tunya. Thank you for watching. Good night and God bless. Business Focus, brought to you by KCB. KCB, making the difference.